I would hope people could understand asexuality as a spectrum and not just, oh, you're asexual. You hate sex. Great. I have no way I want to waste my time with you. There's a lot more to it. Even if I wasn't demisexual, even if I was completely asexual, even if I didn't like sex, it doesn't mean I don't want to be with someone, to have a partner or multiple partners, or that any of that is not compatible with being on the asexual spectrum. People don't understand. It's not a lot of work. It shouldn't be work. Like, that type of connection is a valid type of connection and a valid approach to having a connection with someone.
I wish that people understood that asexuality isn't something that defines a person. Just because someone is having thoughts about this or feels a certain way doesn't make them any less human. It means that you can still relate with them in a personal way, and you don't just have to think, oh yes, this is an asexual person. That's someone who's using this label. Now I have to fit some sort of a role to interact with the asexual person.
I wish people would understand live and let live, and that we are all different. We're all unique in our own ways. We function differently. We view relationships, friendships. We all come from different places, even though people would like to think that life is a one-way street. It's not. I'm not in one box. I'm in 10 boxes. I'm in 11 boxes, and I'm happy about that. And I just want people to understand that it's okay to just be yourself without having to justify who you are and why you are the way you are.
People who feel asexual are not broken, that there's nothing wrong with them, and that they're normal people. They do normal things like you and me.
And just know that we're pretty normal people. We do a lot of the same things that allosexuals do, you know. We still go on dates, we get married, we have kids, we experience life, you know, pretty much the same. It's just this one part of our identity.
And that just kind of making assumptions about what asexuality means doesn't do any good for the asexual community, because it just makes us feel like we have to correct you all the time.
I really wish that people understood it is about attraction. It's not about anything else, even though there might be other preferences. And don't judge a book by its cover.
I really, really, really wish they taught it in schools in sex ed. Just having it as an option would change so many lives. When you're taught sex ed in school, it's basically, you're going to have sex one day. And that's it, you know? And it's compulsory. And I just wish it was taught at a younger age and given an option, because so many of us try to force ourselves into other boxes because they don't know this one exists.
I mean, the hardest thing is just a lot of people don't honestly know what it is, and so when you explain to them, they kind of get this very specific image of this sort of very robotic Spock-like human, and that is, sure, there are people that are like that, but that's only sort of one spectrum of a wide variety of people. That, and a lot of people tend to think like, oh, if you're asexual, you're kind of missing out on an experience, or that you have some kind of mental illness or disability or kind of trauma, and there's definitely people that have that as part of their background and part of their story, and there's nothing wrong with that, but that isn't necessarily why they're asexual, and so people then tend to mix the two together, where they see that and think of it as some sort of an issue or a problem, rather than it just being a part of who you are.
Asexuality is a very wide umbrella to cover like a whole plethora of different unique experiences.
I think truly that it's a spectrum, and that everyone that you meet who may identify like that probably has a completely different life experience than you do. Whether or not you identify the same as them, it's never going to be a cookie cutter, like, this is how you act, and this is what you believe, and this is how you feel. Like, it just doesn't fit like that. And I feel like sexuality in general doesn't fit like that, no matter how you identify.
It's different for everyone, and that in order for any sort of relationship or friendship to work, you need to be educated and not have any prior judgments or misconceptions about how you think an ace person lives their life.
And that just because one person feels a certain type of way, or just because one person acts a certain type of way, doesn't mean that that is how the entire community would feel, or how any random person on the street would feel. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's the case with everybody in the world. It's like you can't just look at someone and assume what they think or feel. So
one of the things that I think I wish that people understood about asexuality, and maybe this is just about sexuality in general, is just the difference between romantic attraction and sexual attraction. I think a lot of people, I will say, that probably conflate the two, me included. Like, I think like the orientations go in the same direction, and for me it's like just they don't go in any direction. But I think for a lot of asexual people, we're like primed to understand how they don't necessarily need to be going in the same direction, if at all. And I think a lot of people would be better suited if they understood how their sexual orientation and their romantic orientation didn't need to go in the same direction. They might be healthier and happier if they understood it.
This Pride Month, do your part to help LGBTQIA+ stories get told by contributing to our crowdfunding campaign through the link in our bio. Thank you.